Hello everyone and welcome back to Abundant Automation. So last episode we did upgrade a few of those guns up there to use red ammo, and what we were also going to do is put down more miners. So let's do just that. It's 8 already there. If we put down another 16, that brings us up to 24. Then we'll just do another 2, and that will fully compress our yellow belt. That way. There we go. Let's just stay for a minute to look at this thing and see if it actually compresses the damn belt. But it looks very much like it. There still seem to be minor gaps in there, so let's just throw in another 2. No, let's throw in 1, probably enough. So that's good enough for me. We won't actually be using up a whole belt down there, so that's another thing. Right, now I think I want to craft some shotgun shells in between those things. We're still sitting comfortably at 50% power. No need to worry about that yet. Oh, and I did cut supply to my stone. That's unfortunate. Alright, that's bullet damage, and bullet damage is already at the center of my next thought, which will be wreck biters. I think I've finally had enough of it. They've just been this constant menace, and I just can't stand it anymore. So what we're gonna do is get rid of some of this useless stuff. And we're going to craft ourselves a shotgun, which will require some iron. And a couple more shells. And then we'll take red ammo. Yeah, before we do that, let's get enough. Yeah, let's get this hooked up and let's get enough actual engine units produced so that we can have a huge brain fart. No, that we can get to work on a car. And with a car we can move ourselves about the place just a lot quicker. Alright, put steel in there. And iron will go in there. First we'll need to bring down iron. What little we have of it. Yeah, clearing biter bases out early game is always a double-edged sword, because you're increasing their evolution factor, but then again, you're also decreasing the time that bases spend in your pollution cloud, and that's indirectly decreasing, or at least not increasing, your evolution factor. So I guess there's always two ways to look at this, as with most things. Alright, iron up there. But also probably a wise idea to get some steel furnaces going, so that we can actually compress a full yellow belt. Oh, research the shooting speed. Let's also get some shotgun tech if we are to use a shotgun. That's 24 up there. That'll upgrade our copper just nicely. And I should probably... Well, again, these things are one day gonna be running eastwards. But for now, I can't be bothered. Put down a steel chest there. Limited to 1 stack. Oh, probably 50 already be enough. And what do we need for a car? 8 engine units. So let's wait on those. And then we'll get some more ammo. We'll also craft some more shotgun shells. There we go. Get our car rolling. And that should be us ready to go. Now we'll need some fuel for our car. Let's just steal it from the copper furnaces, because that's where we're going anyway. So steel furnaces are just better in every way, superior in every way. They consume the same amount of energy. It's 180 kilowatts, and they produce twice as fast. It's just a win-win situation. So this will now be enough to produce a fully compressed yellow belt. We'll also upgrade all of these to fast inserters just because we can. And just as I'm doing that, I realize that I have an upgrade planner installed, and ooh, I take everything back. So I did realize I had upgrade planner installed, and I still have it installed, and could have just as easily done all of this using the upgrade planner, but then again I wouldn't have caught the missing inserter. Alright, where do we go first? I think these all look like pretty chunky bases, to be honest. It'd probably be not a bad idea to get a few grenades crafting while we're on the way. Just to be on the safe side. And then we'll make this first bit our sort of combat thingy. Oh, but the red ammo seems to work quite nicely. Where did I park my car? There it is. Alright, but I think I'd rather have someone like this. Oh! Whoa! That's some mad driving skills right there. Alright, let's get on the offensive here. I think I have everything. It's oil is building up quite nicely. We're up to 3,000 there. And of course there would be a forest right where I want to drive. Alright, so we already have some description of a base here. I think what I would still want to do is have a somewhat of a fallback here. So that I can do this. Save myself a bit of ammo. And I realized that was terribly inefficient. So let's just walk up to it. There we go. There's no worms here. So no need to be overly concerned. And now I'm gonna pull out my shotgun. And early game biters really don't do any damage, so I don't need to be overly concerned. Just plant my face right inside this thing, and then switch back to my submachine gun, clear out the bases, switch back to the shotgun, rinse and repeat. There we are. Now more shotgun shell shooting speed, never a bad thing. Right, so now they're coming from below. Do we still have enough ammo? Yes, we do. It's a little annoying that the thing is in the middle of the forest, so we can't actually see that much, but we'll be able to work around it. Well, quite literally. If you angle yourself correctly with the shotgun shots, you'll always be able to hit spitters and or biters with your shots as well. So no worms here, which is a relief. I think it would be quicker to just use the piercing rounds at this point, but well. We brought the shotgun, and a shotgun's fun, so we might as well use it. You are getting on my nerves. Alright, that's that. Now, what's the edge of a pollution here? I think that out there might be it. So we're going to clear out this base too, and then we're going to have a look at this down there. It seems like a lot of red, but I think most of it is just regular monsters. So this base has quite a lot of spawners, but it's not a big problem. Now, in the not too distant future, we'll have access to poison capsules, which will already make this a lot more, a lot easier. Right, there we go. Yeah, let's... I'm gonna, just for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna turn on the enemy expansion chunks here. I'm gonna demonstrate this. So right now I'm in this chunk. If I place down a belt here, all of the expansion chunks here will disappear. So that's something to be aware of. But I don't think we'll need to worry about it too much. First of all, I do think it's a little bit cheaty. But as I also already said, I'm definitely going to be using it later on. It's just that we're going to be expanding into this general area anyway, pretty soon, I think, to get more oil. So there's really no point in putting down victory items. Alright, that's blue science. That's blue science 2. Yeah, I think I want to get cracking on the whole robot thingy. What? No. I love the sound when the car won't turn on because of a lack of fuel. There's a lot of small bases here. And that's fine. Oh, and this one has a worm, so we'll try to take care of that remotely. I don't think a small worm would be any bother to us anyway. Let's try. Yeah. So I think medium and big worms probably not something we would want to run into face first, but this one, no problem. Alright, and then we have another one up here. It's also got a few small worms, so nothing to be worried about. Also still have plenty of ammunition. No, there's a lot of bases up here. Well, and now after having cleared biters for what's probably been close to 15 minutes, I kind of already feel my dedication to forgo victory polling waver. And I think this is just about the end of it. I mean, this is the edge of a pollution cloud, and I'll just victory pole here and be done with it, or victory belt. Have a nice little ring around the outskirts of a base. We still have 50 rounds of piercing ammo, so that will be helpful. Another one in this chunk. So if you're liking the biter mechanics in this game, and if you enjoy going on the offensive and destroying biter bases for hours on end, this is probably a move you won't enjoy. But I'll be honest, I just can't be bothered with spending half of my time fighting biter bases. I mean, if there was some mechanic to it that would bring that would make the fights a little more interesting and engaging, then sure, by all means, let me fight biters, let me go on the offensive here. But as it is right now, it's not something I enjoy too much. And as I said, I think in the introductory episode to this whole series, I'll leave biters turned on, at least for like 90% of the game. If I'm going into ultra late game and all I want to do is just, I don't know, launch one rocket per X something, I won't be above turning them off. But yeah, for the most part of the game, I think it just creates an interesting logistical challenge that you have to supply far out bases. Alright, that was the western expansion. Looking quite nice there. I think then the next order of business will be dealing with the east. Killing some rats in the east. I'm already at 1k. I really was gone for a while, wasn't I? So yeah, let's get this thing over with. I'll just quickly grab. Oh, squeezing on by, squeezing on, yeah, squeezing. That's one hell of a squeeze there. All right, advanced electronics, all the glorious tech that brings us up to robotics. And I'm still not certain to what extent I want to do robotics in this game. I want to go with robots, but yeah, that thought is gonna have to be something for the next episode. So, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Discrind, and I shall see you soon.